Most tablets are 7 or 11 inch in size, but there are also slightly larger ones, like the 12.9 inch iPad Pro. This is the new Lenovo Tab Extreme. It's 14.5 inches tall, ultra thin, and I used it for quite some time. Welcome to Orbit. And I want to start directly with the highlight, and that is the display. It's 14.5 inch in a 16:10 aspect ratio, and it feels like the display of a notebook just ripped off. Yes, it's actually even bigger than the display of my MacBook Pro. And the very best part of it is that it is OLED. So the black is perfectly black, the contrast is incredibly deep, colors are intense but not oversaturated. I'm sure you all experienced an OLED device before, but to see a display this large in such a thin device with such thin bezels is just mind-blowing. It's a 3K resolution, which is more than enough for a normal viewing distance. However, if you get really close, you can see some pixels. The refresh rate is 120 Hz, however without LTPO. The maximum brightness is 500 nits. That is sufficient for indoor use. If you're outside, you will wish for a little bit more, but even an iPad Pro does not get brighter outdoors despite it being mini LED. And I can't emphasize enough how much more impressive an OLED looks compared to an LCD. Regular tablets just look pale next to it. Especially if you watch movies, series or videos that have black bars on top and bottom, it simply makes a huge difference. And the sound is extremely good as well. What would you guess? How many speakers does it have? 1, 2, 4? No. It's 8 and they are HBL tuned and have Dolby Atmos. It's nice and full, it's loud and clear. I really enjoyed watching videos without headphones. I don't really want to talk about the design, but I have to, I guess. I don't like it at all. It's just an ugly blue-gray purple color of the aluminum frame. And then this giant glass window that gets dirty fast and of course can break if you're not careful. The included stylus holds there magnetically and is charged wirelessly, but it does not hold very tight and I lost it a few times without me even noticing it. You pretty much are forced to use a case, and there is one that protects both the tablet and the pen. But why didn't Lenovo just copy what Apple did and make the stylus on top of the device? You can grab it much easier that way. But if you don't look at the thing, if you just hold it with your eyes closed, you feel how super thin the device is. 5.9 inch, that's half a centimeter less than the iPad Pro, and you can feel it. The battery size is quite impressive. It's 12,300 mAh, that is 2.5 times as much as a Galaxy S23 Ultra and even more than the iPad Pro, so the runtime was impressive. I never used the Tab Extreme for more than 8 hours in one day, but it would have been possible. Several days were no problem with just occasional use. The battery life is a bit ahead of the Samsung Tab S8 Ultra. Charging takes about 100 minutes to 100% with the included 68 watt power supply. And there are two USB-C ports. You can use one for charging and you can connect the other one to a display or a hard drive or to charge up your smartphone. It's pretty handy. The software is Android 13 with a few visual and functional Lenovo tweaks. All the normal tablet things are just as possible here as on any other Android tablet or iPad. Surfing the web, answering mails, watching videos or playing games of course. But there are some productive scenarios as well. First, the pen is included and it's pretty good. It has a minimal latency and 4000 pressure zones, so you can draw, paint or just write with it. And there's a handwriting recognition and text fields, so you never have to put down the pen. Second, there's an optional keyboard cover for about 300 euros, and because it's a Lenovo product and Lenovo is just great with keyboards, this is extremely good to type on. It is ultra thin, ultra stable and the keystroke is nice and soft. Definitely better than the Magic Keyboard from Apple. It also comes with this super thin magnetic thing that is a stepless stand. It's so small that you can have it always on and don't even notice it. Third, the Tab Extreme can be used as an external monitor for your Windows device, so you can use it at home or when you're on the go. Fourth, stock Android supports 2 apps side by side. Lenovo allows 4 apps side by side, and you can even drag some more on top of them. It's nice that it works, but it was hardly useful for me. Maybe I'm just bad at multitasking. Till this point, everything sounds quite good, but I had some problems with the software. For one thing, there were sometimes bugs. Apps just hung up, and in general I found the software looked a bit old-fashioned. In general, Android has the problem that many apps are not adapted for a large screen. All of the Google apps look great, but all of the other apps, they can be hit or miss. There are more apps than ever for photo and video editing, but they cannot keep up with the diversity of the iPad. I was particularly annoyed that perhaps the best feature of the Samsung Tab S8 Ultra is missing on the Lenovo tablet, the DeX mode in the keyboard case. With Samsung, you have a Windows-like desktop interface and you can work much more productively there compared to pure Android. Actually, Lenovo has developed a software like that, but only on Motorola smartphones. And this feature would have made a lot of sense on a huge display like that. Maybe it will come with a future update. There will be at least 3 years of Android and 4 years of security updates. Everything is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 9000 Plus, and it's roughly the same performance as the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, so it's super fast and good. So the processor is not the best, but on a high level, and I never had a feeling that it was a problem. It is supported by 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, which can be expanded with microSD. There are 2 cameras on the back and both are very lousy. At most you can scan a document with them, nothing more. And in my opinion, the ultra-wide angle is just completely useless. And this is the selfie camera, and I think it's the only good camera on this device. It's completely fine for video calls. It has 4K resolution, so it's nice and sharp. Conclusion. Who is this thing for? Well, it was amazing for watching videos and TV shows, but it is 1,300 euros. So a little bit too expensive to just watch videos on it. You have to have some productive use for it, and that is the hard thing. An iPad Pro or a Galaxy S8 Ultra, they feel way more productive to me, and they are the same price or sometimes even cheaper. And next week there will be the Samsung Tab S9 Ultra, so I would at least wait for that thing. And till then, I'm not quite convinced that large Android tablets should exist, but they are quite nice to look at.